Why does greatness often begin in silence? The moments where it feels like the world has turned away, when the noise fades, and only you remain. Those are the times of divine preparation. In quietness and trust is your strength. These sacred words from Isaiah 30:15 echo through the stillness, reminding you that this silence isn't abandonment, it's alignment. You, the chosen one, are being shaped. This is the quiet before the storm of greatness, the stillness that forges strength. In your daily life, it may feel like unanswered prayers or unseen efforts, but this is no accident. It's your training ground. God is not holding you back. He's setting you apart, whispering through the silence that your time will come. Until then, trust in the process and know that this quiet is the foundation of something extraordinary. The silence you are experiencing is not an absence, it's a forging fire. This time of quiet isn't designed to diminish you but to refine you. In the absence of applause and affirmation, your inner spirit grows stronger, learning to stand firm on faith alone. Like gold purified in fire, your resilience is being strengthened so that you can endure not only the pressures of fame, but the temptations and challenges that accompany it. The applause of the world fades quickly, but what is built in solitude is eternal. Without this season of preparation, the weight of visibility could break what it exposes. Consider the roots of a tree. Their true work is done underground, away from sight. But those roots anchor the tree, allowing it to stand firm even in the strongest storms. In the same way, this quiet season is your time to build a foundation that fame cannot erode. Every unseen effort, every quiet prayer, and every tear shed in solitude is fortifying your spirit for what's ahead. In silence, you are also learning to let go of the external and lean fully into your relationship with God. You're discovering that your worth and identity are not tied to validation from the outside world. When the noise of the crowd inevitably rises, this inner strength will act as your compass, guiding you back to your purpose. The stories of those who have achieved great things often share one crucial commonality: a time of isolation. Moses spent 40 years in the desert tending sheep before he encountered the burning bush that would set him on his divine mission. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree in stillness, rejecting distractions before he reached enlightenment. These moments of solitude were not wasted. They were sacred. They allowed for deep introspection, self-discovery, and an alignment with higher purpose. In this same way, your quiet season is a time for profound self-reflection. It's in these moments, free from the noise of expectations and the lure of distractions, that you begin to hear your own voice. You start to discern the difference between what the world expects of you and what God has called you to do. Who are you when there's no one to perform for? What is your purpose when no one is watching? In silence, these questions become unavoidable, and the answers, though sometimes uncomfortable, become clear. This self-discovery is the cornerstone of your calling. Without understanding yourself, you cannot fulfill your purpose. Solitude gives you the clarity to recognize your strengths, confront your weaknesses, and align your life with the values and mission that God has placed on your heart. The quiet moments are the birthplace of your authenticity, which will be your greatest asset when the world finally sees you. Science confirms what spiritual wisdom has taught for centuries. Solitude has transformative power. In today's world, the constant barrage of notifications, opinions, and comparisons can erode our sense of self. Yet, when we step into silence, our minds begin to recalibrate. Studies show that solitude reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone that keeps us in a constant state of tension. For the chosen one, this reduction in stress is vital for clarity and focus. But solitude doesn't just calm the mind, it sharpens it. During this quiet period, your ability to focus deepens. Without the distraction of others' expectations or the pressure to perform, you begin to prioritize what truly matters. This heightened awareness becomes the tool you'll use to navigate the complexities of your calling. When the noise of fame comes, the focus you cultivated in solitude will keep you anchored to your purpose. Most importantly, solitude fosters self-awareness. This is the season where you learn to hear the still, small voice of God over the clamoring opinions of others. You become attuned to your intuition and aligned with your values. Fame will challenge your sense of self, but the self-awareness you build now will ensure that you remain grounded and authentic. This is why the silence is so sacred. It's not a void, it's a gift. Many have fallen into the trap of chasing validation too soon, mistaking visibility for purpose. Fame achieved without preparation is a fragile thing, easily shattered by the pressures it brings. Consider those who sought the spotlight before they were ready. Some rose quickly only to burn out, their potential squandered because their foundation wasn't solid. For the chosen one, succumbing to this temptation would mean trading divine timing for fleeting applause. The silence is God's way of protecting you from this pitfall. It's His assurance that recognition, when it comes, will not be premature, but perfectly timed. While the world may reward haste, God rewards patience. Trust that this waiting period is not a delay, but a necessary preparation for the responsibilities ahead. Immediate recognition is fleeting, but what God has planned for you will be eternal. At the heart of the temptation for validation lies a deeper struggle, the need for approval. It's natural to want others to see your efforts, to acknowledge your progress, and to affirm your worth. But for the chosen ones, this desire must be relinquished. True greatness isn't built on external approval, but on inner conviction. This quiet season forces you to confront your dependence on validation. It's a mirror that reflects your insecurities and asks, can you still believe in your purpose even when no one else sees it? Letting go of this need is not easy. It feels like severing a lifeline. But in doing so, you're making room for something greater, a deep, unshakable confidence rooted in God's approval, not the world's applause. As you release the need for validation, you'll find freedom. Freedom to pursue your purpose without fear of judgment. Freedom to take risks without the weight of others' expectations. This is the foundation you'll need when fame finally comes, because while the world's praise may lift you, it is God's affirmation that will sustain you. This is why we offer Obsidian Inner Order. Inside, over 400 chosen ones have gathered, each one breaking free from the chains of external validation and stepping fully into their purpose. In the Inner Order, you'll gain access to uncensored videos that reveal truths too profound for mainstream platforms and modern manifestation mechanics that empower you to navigate success with clarity and divine alignment. Through our Star Chamber Discord server, you'll connect with like-minded individuals who understand what it means to be grounded in God's truth, while rising above the noise of the world. If you're ready to build a foundation that honors your purpose, free from the weight of expectations, Obsidian Inner Order is where you belong. Claim your place among those who seek God's affirmation over fleeting praise. The link to join us on Patreon is in the description. Fame can be a double-edged sword, especially for those who aren't prepared to wield it. The pressure of visibility, the scrutiny of the public, and the weight of influence can crush even the strongest if their foundation isn't solid. History is filled with examples of people who rose to fame too soon and crumbled under its demands. Their stories are not warnings of failure, but lessons in the importance of preparation. Premature fame often exposes unhealed wounds and unresolved insecurities. Without the quiet season to address these areas, the demands of visibility can magnify weaknesses instead of strengths. Think of fame as a magnifying glass. It doesn't change who you are. It simply reveals you on a larger scale. This is why the silent season is so critical. It's the time when God is shaping your character, healing your wounds, and preparing you to stand strong in the spotlight. For the chosen one, the goal isn't just to become famous. It's to be ready for the responsibility that comes with it. Fame, when mishandled, can lead to burnout, disconnection, or even a loss of purpose. But when approached with preparation and integrity, it becomes a platform for impact and change. Use this silent time wisely, trusting that when the world finally sees you, you'll be ready to step into your calling with confidence and grace. If you felt restless in this quiet season, as though you're waiting for something to begin, you're not alone. This discomfort is one of the clearest signs that you're being prepared for something greater. The unease you feel is not punishment. It's the pressure of transformation. Just as a seed buried in the soil feels the strain of growth before it breaks through the earth, you too are experiencing the tension of becoming. This discomfort is God's way of stirring your spirit, ensuring that you don't settle into complacency. It's a signal that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events to align with His perfect timing. You may not see the full picture yet, but the very fact that you feel unsettled is proof that change is coming. The silence is not stillness, it's preparation. Lean into this discomfort. Instead of resisting it, ask God what He's trying to teach you. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it pushes you beyond your limits. But this stretching is necessary for the calling you're stepping into. The silence is not here to break you, it's here to build you. In the quiet, God often speaks the loudest. Without the distractions of the world, your heart and mind become attuned to His voice. This is the time when divine insights and inspirations begin to flow. You may find yourself receiving ideas, visions, or callings that feel too big to be your own. That's because they aren't. These are seeds of purpose planted by God, meant to guide your path when the time is right. Think of the moments when clarity suddenly struck you, like a light breaking through the darkness. Perhaps you've had dreams that feel significant, ideas that ignite your spirit, or a sense of urgency to pursue a particular path. These are not coincidences. They are whispers of divine purpose. God is revealing glimpses of what He has in store for you, giving you the tools to prepare for the next chapter. But these revelations come with responsibility. They are not meant to be rushed or shared prematurely. Instead, they require nurturing in the silence. Use this time to refine your vision, to pray for wisdom, and to seek God's guidance on how to steward these inspirations. What you're receiving now will be the blueprint for your future. As you spend time in this quiet season, you may notice that your values and priorities are shifting. What once seemed important, status, approval, or material success, no longer holds the same weight. Instead, you're drawn to deeper, more meaningful pursuits. This is another sign that you're being prepared for a greater purpose. God is realigning your heart with His will, ensuring that your focus is on what truly matters. This shift can feel disorienting at first. You might find yourself questioning old goals or relationships that no longer serve your journey. But this is a necessary part of the process. Just as a sculptor chips away at marble to reveal the masterpiece within, God is removing anything that doesn't align with His vision for your life. What remains is your true calling, unclouded by distractions. As your perspective changes, you'll notice a growing desire to serve others rather than seek self-gain. This is the hallmark of a chosen one, a shift from ego-driven ambition to a purpose rooted in impact and love. The changes you're experiencing are preparing you to step into your role with integrity and clarity, ready to use your gifts for the greater good. Silence is often misunderstood as emptiness, but for the chosen ones, it is a divine sanctuary. This quiet period is not a punishment, but a gift, a sacred space where you are free from the noise of the world, the opinions of others, and the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. In this solitude, God speaks, not in thunderous declarations, but in whispers that guide and nurture your spirit. This time of stillness is an opportunity to realign yourself with God's vision for your life. Without the pressures of performance or the need to meet external expectations, you can listen deeply to His voice. Solitude becomes a sacred conversation, a place where questions are asked and answers are revealed. It's here that your identity as a chosen one is affirmed, not by the world, but by the Creator Himself. Embracing this solitude requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing it as isolation, see it as incubation. Like a masterpiece hidden under a cloth until it's ready for the world, you are being prepared in secrecy. This sacred time is not wasted. It's holy ground where transformation takes place. Cherish this season, for it is as much a part of your calling as the spotlight you will one day step into. The silence is not just a gift, it's a test. It challenges your patience, your faith, and your ability to trust in God's timing. You may feel ready for the next chapter, but God knows the weight of the calling you are about to carry. He is ensuring that you have the strength, character, and humility to sustain it. The waiting is not a delay, it's a deliberate act of preparation. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison before becoming a global leader. Those years of silence were not wasted. They were a time of refining, where he developed the patience, wisdom, and resilience he would need to change the world. For the chosen ones, the test of silence is a similar crucible. It asks, can you trust the process even when you can't see the outcome? In these moments of waiting, your faith becomes your anchor. It's easy to believe in God's plan when everything is moving forward, but true faith is trusting Him in the stillness. The silence is asking you to let go of control, to surrender your timeline to His, and to believe that He is working all things for your good. A house built on sand cannot withstand the storm, but one built on a solid foundation will endure. The silent season is your time to build that foundation, ensuring that when the winds of fame and visibility come, you remain unshaken. This period of preparation is not glamorous, but it is essential. It is here, away from the eyes of the world, that your character is forged, your values solidified, and your purpose clarified. Think of the quiet work being done now as the foundation for a skyscraper. The higher the building, the deeper the foundation must go. In the same way, the magnitude of your calling requires a level of preparation that is unseen but absolutely necessary. The silence is where you dig deep, anchoring yourself in faith, integrity, and purpose. When the world finally sees you, they won't see the hours of unseen work, the prayers whispered in solitude, or the trials you endured in silence. But those moments will be the reason you can stand tall, unyielding, and steadfast in your calling. The foundation you're building now will be the strength that sustains you in the spotlight. Patience is one of the most challenging virtues to cultivate, especially when your spirit feels ready to step into its purpose. But divine timing operates on a different rhythm than human expectations. God's plan is intricate and intentional, ensuring that every piece aligns perfectly before revealing the full picture. While waiting can feel like an eternity, it is a necessary part of the process that ensures you are stepping into your destiny at the exact right moment. This period of waiting tests your ability to surrender control. It requires you to trust that even when progress feels slow or invisible, God is working behind the scenes. Just as a symphony builds to its crescendo, your life is unfolding in harmony with His timing. Every delay, every obstacle, and every moment of silence is part of a divine orchestration that will ultimately lead to something greater than you could imagine. Patience is not passive, it's an active state of faith. During this time, your role is not to push ahead, but to prepare yourself for what's coming. Strengthen your skills, deepen your relationship with God, and align your heart with His will. When the appointed time comes, you will realize that the waiting was never wasted. It was essential preparation for the magnitude of your calling. Preparation is the silent foundation of success. While the world celebrates the final product, it rarely acknowledges the quiet work that goes into creating it. For the chosen ones, this preparation is vital. Fame and influence are not just rewards, they are responsibilities. The quiet season is God's way of ensuring that you are equipped to handle the weight of your calling with wisdom and grace. Imagine a soldier who steps into battle without training, or a leader who takes the stage without knowing their mission. Without preparation, even the most gifted individuals will falter. This is why God's timing is so meticulous. He is not only preparing the path for you, but preparing you for the path. The silence is where you refine your skills, sharpen your focus, and align your character with the demands of your purpose. This preparation also extends to your heart. During this time, God is molding you into someone who leads with integrity and humility. He is teaching you to rely on Him rather than your own strength, so that when challenges arise, you will not be shaken. The work you do in the silence is not just for you. It's for the countless lives you will impact when your calling is revealed. In moments of uncertainty, it's easy to question whether you're on the right path. But even when you can't see the full picture, you can rest in the assurance that God is guiding every step. His plans for you are not random or haphazard. They are deliberate and purposeful, designed to bring you into the fullness of your destiny. Think of a GPS navigating you to a destination. Sometimes you may not understand why it takes a certain route or asks you to wait, but the GPS sees the bigger picture. It knows the roadblocks, detours, and delays that lie ahead. In the same way, God's guidance is rooted in a perspective far beyond our own. He knows what lies ahead, and He is preparing you to navigate it with strength and clarity. This assurance is your anchor in the silence. Even when the path feels uncertain, trust that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. His timing is never late and never early. It is always perfect. Rest in the knowledge that you are not walking this journey alone. Every step is guided by His hand, and every moment is part of a greater plan that will unfold in its perfect time. Fame is often seen as a reward, but for the chosen ones, it is a sacred responsibility. Visibility is not granted simply for personal glory, but as a platform to uplift, inspire, and serve others. When God calls you to greatness, it is not just for your benefit, but for the countless lives that will be impacted by your influence. Fame is a tool, and how you wield it will determine the legacy you leave behind. This responsibility requires preparation. The silent season you're in is God's way of ensuring that your motives are pure and your character is strong. Fame without purpose is hollow, and influence without integrity can be destructive. By using this time to deepen your relationship with God and align yourself with His will, you'll be ready to step into the spotlight with wisdom, humility, and clarity. The pressures of fame can be overwhelming, testing even the strongest foundations. Many lose their way, consumed by the need for approval, wealth, or power. But the chosen ones are called to a higher standard. Remaining grounded in integrity is not just a choice, it's a necessity. Integrity ensures that your influence will be lasting, rooted in authenticity and truth. This quiet period is where your integrity is built. In the absence of public scrutiny, you have the opportunity to solidify your values and anchor yourself in God's principles. When fame comes, the strength of your character will be your greatest shield against the temptations and challenges of visibility. Fame can amplify both strengths and flaws, and this season of preparation ensures that what shines through is your unwavering commitment to your purpose. Fame is more than recognition. It's an opportunity to make an impact. As a chosen one, your influence is a divine assignment, meant to bring light to a world often clouded by darkness. Whether through words, actions, or example, your visibility is a platform to inspire hope, encourage transformation, and guide others toward truth and purpose. This perspective is what sets the chosen ones apart. Instead of using fame for personal gain, you are called to use it as a means to fulfill God's will. In this silent season, God is planting the seeds of your mission, aligning your heart with His vision. When the time comes, you will step into the spotlight, not for your glory but for His, carrying the weight of influence with humility and grace. The silence before greatness can feel isolating, but it is also a sanctuary. In this quiet period, you are given the rare gift of time to reflect, recharge, and realign yourself with your purpose. Instead of rushing to escape this stillness, learn to embrace it. Solitude is where clarity thrives, and peace becomes your foundation. The absence of noise is not emptiness. It's an invitation to grow stronger in your relationship with God and more certain of the path ahead. This peace is not passive. It requires intention. It means choosing to trust the process, even when you don't see immediate results. It means finding contentment in the knowledge that every moment of silence is part of a divine plan. When you surrender to this stillness, you'll discover that it's not a delay, but a divine opportunity to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for what's to come. In this season of quiet, you have the opportunity to look back and honor the journey that has brought you here. Reflecting on the challenges you've faced, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced can provide clarity and encouragement. Every obstacle you've overcome has been preparing you for this very moment, shaping you into someone capable of carrying the mantle of greatness. Use this time to celebrate the progress you've made, even if the world hasn't seen it yet. Every small victory, every act of resilience has been a step toward your calling. Reflection helps you recognize God's hand in your life, giving you the confidence to trust that He will continue to guide you. When the storm of visibility arrives, these reflections will remind you of the strength and faithfulness that carried you through the silence. This silence won't last forever. The quiet season is temporary, a preparation for the storm of fame and responsibility that lies ahead. While the stillness may feel endless, know that change is coming. The shift will be sudden, and when it happens, you must be ready to step into the next phase of your calling with confidence and grace. This is the time to sharpen your tools, refine your vision, and align yourself fully with God's purpose. Imagine a sailor preparing for a storm. They don't wait until the waves are crashing to secure the ship. In the same way, this season is your chance to strengthen your spirit and ensure that when the storm comes, you will stand firm, unshaken by the winds of change. The silence you are experiencing is not a void. It is a sacred journey of preparation. Every quiet moment has been an opportunity to grow, to reflect, and to align yourself with the purpose that God has placed on your life. From resilience and self-discovery to the lessons in patience and faith, this season has been a foundation, ensuring that when the world finally sees you, you will stand firm and unwavering. Trust that God's timing is perfect. When the silence breaks and the storm of visibility arrives, you will be ready, not just to be seen, but to make an impact. This time of quiet is a gift, a chance to become everything you were meant to be. Embrace it, cherish it, and trust the process, knowing that when your time comes, you will step into it fully prepared to fulfill your calling.